Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. And you're very welcome to another episode of our podcast this week. As always, I'm joined by Eamon and Hector and Captain Fantastical Mick. And how are you gentlemen this week? Not too bad, thank you. It's good to be back. Show another week. Gameweek 1 football has taken place in the Premiership. Interesting to have a look to see how our managers have got on. And you've been behaving yourself this week, have you, Hector? No madcap mayhem, no destruction going on or anything like that? No, nothing like that. It's been very quite a week for me on that.
And I'm sure our listeners are going to be exceptionally pleased with this, that you didn't maybe visit any nuclear reactors or anything like that and having to press a button you shouldn't have pressed.
I think that's a little bit harsh, Eamon.
Well, let's face it. Hector is prone to getting himself into situations that some of us wouldn't get into.
I think, Eamon, I agree with us. You are being a little harsh. Mick, what would you say?
Well, firstly, I'd like to just say, I'm sorry to any of the listeners. I know I wasn't on top form last week, and I was probably trying to get the grips with what happened, and it did get me down a little bit. I just thought, gosh, an awful mess here, but I'm much better this week. And yeah, Hector, you might get yourself into little spots and borders, but I do agree. I think Eamon's being a little bit hard on you. I don't think you're going to be visiting any nuclear reactors anytime shortly, and I don't think there's any threat.
Eamon, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing perfectly fine. Weather is nice. I was going to sit outside with a little glass of vino, enjoy the sun, get the vitamins into you. Perfectly fine. Football's back. Everything is good.
Indeed it is. Okay, moving along. First call of business, of course, is for our managers and any of our listeners who would be maybe contemplating entering a team into the Arkham Avengers FFPL for 2022-23. Our league will be closing to new managers on Friday the 12th of August. At that point, it will be closed. Nobody else will be getting to join in. We have 23 managers at the moment in there. And that's it. It'll be shut down. That's first port of call. Now, of course, the next item on my list is a reminder to those new managers in the league. Now, this is very important because we have a trophy for the winner and we have a medal for the manager who comes in second place and the manager who comes in third place. We do require contact name and a contact address. And this is so that we know where to send the trophy and the medals to in the event that it's one of our new managers. We have address details for existing managers. Now, it's the new managers who need to send in their details, and they can do so by either emailing us at arkhamavengers@gmail.com. They can also send a direct message on Twitter to @ArkhamAvengers, and they can also leave a message on Facebook for us at Arkham Avengers FFPL. Now, the reason why this is important, and we've already touched on this, and this will be a constant reminder over the next few weeks. If we do not have the contact details from any of our new managers who have joined for the 2022-23 season, you will be removed from the league if we do not get your contact details. And this is only fair because there's no point in a new manager winning the league. We don't know where to send it to. So at this point, make contact with us. At least we have your details. Everything is above board. All is fine. And the best of luck to you. As I said, we will be touching on this. We will be putting this on Twitter and on Facebook. It'll also be in the show notes. So there should be no excuse for a manager not being able to get in touch with us or to say, I didn't know I had to send in my contact details. So there are the two reminders there. The league is closing on the Friday, the 12th of August, and we need contact details from our new managers. Moving along, our segment, Eamon Tackles, is back this week. Eamon, you've got something for us, have you?
Indeed I have. Yes, I am back. Eamon Tackles.
And what is Eamon tackling this week?
And Eamon is going to tackle and touch on the Premier League.
Farewell.
As you know, the Premier League is back. There has been a unique start to the season, and that's what we look at Saturday's match, Liverpool against Fulham. You would have expected Liverpool to beat Fulham. However, Fulham, and you have to give all credit to the way they approached the game, deserved to get a point out of that match. It was end to end, it was thrilling, and they were value for money. On the other hand, Aston Villa looked sluggish, and other than the chance that fell for Boubacar Kamara and the shot save from Danny Ings, they looked poor, and it really looks like a continuation of poor form from last season. And if this continues, Steven Gerrard's number is going to be up. There's no doubt about it. They need to get themselves in action, on track, or else he's going to be gone. He could be one of the first managers to go if they don't get themselves going. However, while I have tackled those two slightly, the team I'm really tackling is Man United. And they were beaten by 2-1 by Brighton and Hove Albion. And I want to point out one thing for our listeners, that Brighton actually scored a goal for Man United. It was an OG, an own goal. In this case, Man United didn't score any goals. They were outplayed in the opening period, and Man United showed stunted form in my view. They managed 5 shots on target. Brighton had 4 shots. Man United had 63% of the possession and have nothing to show for it. Even Ronaldo's introduction in the second half didn't have any impact. There was no cohesion to Man United. They failed to take a grip of the game. And if anything, and I think people who watched or listened to the game will agree, that Brighton and Hove Albion actually looked the team that were more likely to score a goal here. We've been listening to all this talk about Ten Hag, the manager, and he's going to impose his personality on Man United and on the team. Well, I have to say, I haven't seen any of it so far, and I've not seen any of this match. They're a bit all over the place, and I think, to use a term that John Giles would use, Man United have too many sunshine boys. They're not there with a sense of pride and commitment and drive, along with the passion that we've all come to know this club for. That's all missing at the moment. There isn't any of that. I can't find it on the pitch. There's no leaders. There's nobody to step up and take a game by the scruff of the neck and say, come on lads, we're going to have to do something about this. That's missing. We've got skylarkers out there who are getting paid and not producing the goods. And the likes of McTominay, Fred, Maguire, Shaw, Fernandes, Rashford, Sancho, they just don't look like they're fit for purpose. They seem to be adrift. They're lost out there. Man United, in my view, need a serious clear out of some of these jokers. And time is actually running out for this club. Fans are uneasy. They've been booing. They've been protesting still there, the Glazers. I don't think that the manager, Ten Hag, is actually happy with this. There was the aborted transfer that they tried there, and that didn't work this week. And it's all a little bit of a circus at present. And yeah, it's kind of sad. It's a sad reflection of a giant of a club that it's now a stumbling, shuffling, simple, sad reflection to fans. And they shouldn't be like this. And no more than the like of the Aston Villa. If they don't get their house in order very quickly, they will be in trouble. There are a lot of teams pushing out there. There are a lot of teams who are enthusiastic. They're ambitious. They're committed. As I said, they have a sense of pride. They put on that football jersey and step out onto their pitch. They have pride. That's missing here from Man United. And I think that the time for the big lads out there either step up to the mark or get out. And that's it. Eamon's tackled.
Well, thank you, Eamon, for that. That's very, very interesting. So you're not at all happy with Man United where they are at the moment?
No, I'm not. No, I don't think anybody would be. I don't think any former players would be happy with the way things are going. I'm sure Alex Ferguson would probably be thinking, what in the heck are they doing with the club that he so successfully managed for so many years? And I mean, they're going to managers, drivel, dravel, but it's not all down to the managers. It's down to the players here.
But the club have brought in these players.
Yes, well, the club have brought in these players. The manager is not bringing in these players. That's the problem. These players were brought in by previous managers, and then they didn't do anything, and then they threw the manager under the bus. And at the moment, Ten Hag he's halfway under a bus at the moment after that abomination of a game. The first game of the season, and they're beaten 2-1. Lucky that they even got the one goal. Shambles.
Hector, Mick, would you have anything to add to that?
Well, I think that Eamon probably is very right in saying that when you go out and you play football, you need to go and try and get a grip on game. And Man United don't do that at all. When you look at Fulham playing against Liverpool, they took the game to Liverpool. They played. They did not shirk. They were ambitious.
And that, of course, I think Eamon touched on it, is not there with the Man United. To me, they just seem to be every player kind of doing his own thing and not really playing for the team, but playing for himself. And it's not working. Mick?
Well, I have to say that I think Eamon's made a lot of valid points there. I do agree that there's a lot of players don't just seem to be doing it. I think they're there on possibly the gravy train. They're getting paid, but they're not really doing what they should be doing. And I think the new manager is trying to stamp down on this, and he's trying to put this team right. But it's going to take time. And I don't think I've been expecting much out of Man United this season. The manager will be there. There might be some players missing, but I think it's process of building at this moment.
Okay, we have a few new managers who have joined since last week. We'll take a look at those there. Hector, do you want to talk us through these? Well, we have a manager. The team is called NWA Blood, and they're managed by O'Malley Daniel. They are a brand new manager. We have the Botman and Robin, and they're managed by Amy Keith. And in 2021-22, they were ranked 5,525,668,000. Iron Maiden FC are managed by Marcello Zas, and in 21-22 season they were ranked 573,350. Ingua Rangers FC are managed by Shuma Atuanya, and they were ranked 3,196,331 in the 2021-22 season. And the last new manager we have is Gunnar Zen. They're managed by Timi Agnola. They were ranked 3,495,288 in 2021-22. Okay, thank you for that there. And Mick, two of the teams have changed their name. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. The script squad are now called Side Effects May Vary, and King Kai changed their name to King Kane. Probably must be Spurs fans, I'd say.
Possibly, okay. Well, they're very welcome there. I know new managers are very welcome also to the league. And Eamon, we have two returning managers. Talk to us about this.
Well, the manager, Robbie Quinn, is back with the managing his team best season ever. And in 2021-22, he managed Can We Win Again and was ranked 1,915,651. Robbie, of course, is a former winner of a trophy here for this competition. And the other manager who has returned is none other than Ain't Got a Clues, Emir Hussein. That's the team he managed in 2021-22. He was ranked 2,560,858. And his team this year is Better Idea 22-23. So clearly he thinks he has learned something.
Very good. Okay, all right. Okay. As I said, very well, warm welcome to all our managers, returning managers, new managers, and hope that Game Week 1 has been good to them there. And speaking of Game Week 1, we are going to take a look to see how our managers got on in the Arkham Avengers League. For this season, we are going to be taking a look at the top 10. Currently, there are 23 managers in the league. We're going to look at the top 10, and we will have notable mentions for other managers from 11th place down. Hector, would you like to start us off, please? Well, the highest points in Game Week 1 was 119 points, and the average came in at 57. In first place is Side Effects May Vary. They had 84 points. Now, they used their triple captain, and they went for the Salah and got 36 points. They have a solid defense. James, Gabriel, and Cancelo all got 7 points each. In midfield, they had the Saka, who got the 6 points, and up front, they had Haaland, 13 points. And I think it's a solid start to their season. Very good. They did need to do the triple captain to get them the extra bonus points. Who's in second place then? The next manager is Cliche Bit, who got 80 points. And they had the captain Salah, who had 24 points for them. They had very good defense. They had the goalkeeper Mendy, who had 7 points. Cancelo, James got 7 points as well. Shevchenko got the 12 points. Midfield, they had Harrison, 6 points. Tony got them 8 points. Getting the points all over the pitch. Very good. Certainly a lot stronger than they started last season. Last season, they got 77 points. Eamon, you wanted to say something there?
Yeah, look, this is the manager who was in charge of Bamford Rejects last season. A disaster season in my view. Now, I do agree with Hector, they've started off strong. And my question here, of course, is will they be able to follow this up with Game Week 2 and 3? This is the crux of the matter. You started off well. Can you continue it? I wish them well. They've done well. They've done good, and they haven't impressed. Nice team to get points all over there. Okay, Eamon, while you're talking there, who's in third place? Third place is one of our new managers. It's Taiga, 79 points. They had the captain, Salah, 24 points. They had a very good defence also. Ramsdale, the goalkeeper, got 6 points. Trippier, Cancelo, James, all got 7 points each. Martinelli was there in midfield with 8 points, and they had Haaland, who got them 13 points. They'll be happy with this result. They're off to a good start. Okay, and who's then in fourth? And fourth place is actually shared by we have 3 teams on in fourth position here. We have returning manager Lafayette Lions, 74 points. They captained De Bruyne, got 12 points. Mendy was there with 7 points. Cancelo had 7. Salah had the 12. Martinelli had 8 points. Good forwards. Darwin got 9 points. Mitrovic, 13. Very good. That's what we like to see. They'll be very pleased with this. They came third last season, and already you can see them putting down the marker there. Bold strike, I think, with Darwin Núñez and Mitrovic. It's a very good call. FC Fitz is a new manager, and they're on 74 points. They've gone for Salah as the captain and picked up 24 points for that. Another good bunch, the defence there. Edison in goals for 7 points. Cancelo and James got 7 points each. Martinelli was in midfield with 8. Haaland up front with 13 points again. They had Gabriel on the bench, who had another 7 points. And as I said, as for a new manager in the league, they will be pleased. It's a nice start there. And fourth place, final team in fourth place is none other than What a Beauty 99, 74 points. They decided to captain Haaland and got 26 points. Cancelo was 7. Selava had 8 points. Saka 6. Salah 12. And they had Tony, who got 8 points. It's a good start for them, I have to say. Last season, they managed 65 points in Gameweek 1 last season. They have shown potential previously, and I would be hoping that this 74 points is not a flash in the pan, that they return in Gameweek 2 with another good score, and that they're going to continue a thread here. They have to keep the momentum going. Mick, would you like to talk us through a few of the other managers?
Well, in 7th place then is last year's winner, actually. Well, now they're called Kambaya Cancho. This is Devon. Devon got 72 points. He had Salah as the captain for 24 points. Mendy got 7. Cancelo and James got 7 points each. Diaz picked up 6. Saka got 6 points. Martinelli got 8 points. I suppose they're going to be happy that they're in the top 10 anyway, and it's early days for them. They're not going to worry about it. They're going to be happy with this. They're only 13 points off top spot. Not going to worry about it.
Okay. Who's next then?
8th place then is Real No Stars. And this is from Fergie. He managed team El Loco John last season. Got a new team now. Got 71 points though. Triple captain Salah, 36 points. Defence, in my view, not great. I think it's a bit of a washout. However, they did have De Bruyne, 6 points. Martinelli, 8. Haaland, 13 points. The triple captain worked for them, and that's what's got them here. My question, what have they got for game week 2?
And Hector, who's in 9th place?
In 9th place is NWA Blood, new manager, 67 points. They had the Salah as the captain, 24 points. Defense looked a little unsteady, I think. Cancelo and Trippier got 7 points each. Mendy, goalkeeper, got 7 points. However, the other 3 defenders, they got 2 points in total from 3 players. So that's not very good. Haaland was there, got 13 points. That's really the bulk of their players, I have to say. I think they won't have a little bit of work to do. Going to need to have some good transfers. Few players to shake out there on that.
Okay, and Eamon, do you want to finish us off here?
Yes, in 10th place is Raglan Road, a returning manager. They got 64 points. They had Salah as their captain for 24 points. And their defence was mediocre in my view. They had the goalkeeper Mendy, who got 7 points. Gabriel and Cancelo both got 7 points each. However, they had Matip and Cash got 1 point each. Not great. Midfield, they got 6 points from 3 players, which I think is a little bit on the weak side. Darwin Núñez got them 9 points. They did have Thiago Silva on the bench, and he had 6 points. Probably would have been handy to have him there if possible. They managed 76 points in game week 1 last season. They will have their work cut out for them, but I think they're in shape. They're in form.
and they're in the top 10. Thank you for that, lads. There. So really, look, we're looking at in the top 10 there. Like there was six managers from the 15 last season, the 2021-22 season, are in the top 10 after game week 1. I'd say that's good.
I think that is very good. It's a good reflection on the experience that those managers have brought with them. They've come back. They're building on their experience. They're building on what they're capable of doing. Building on what lessons they've learned from last season. I think we're going to see a lot of those lads putting it up to the new managers, but also the new managers will be putting it up to them.
Would you agree with that, Hector?
I would totally agree with Mick. Wise words always from the Mick. I think it will be very interesting to see how some of the managers get on. The Lafayette Lions done well last season. Can they continue this there? How about, Cleachbait? The manager last season had bad season, not very good. Now they're in number 2 spot. Can they do that there? Waha Beauty 99. Have they got the stamina to keep going? This is the race. These horses, they're running, they're cantering away here. These lads now top 10, trying to get away from the rest of the pack.
The notable mentions then, of course, there. Eamon, do you want to talk about these?
Well, the notable mentions for me would be that 11th place, the spoofer himself, Arkham Avengers, 61 points. 13th place, well, actually, these two managers in 13th place is best season ever, 57 points. And the good, the bad, and the goalie is 57 points. This is Jerry. Jerry was toe boggers last season. He's decided new name, new team, new approach. It'd be very interesting to see what these do in game week 2 because you've got Robbie who has won this competition the year before last. Jerry has won this competition. Jerry has been runner-up the last 2 seasons. The spoofer is a bit all over the place, so we won't have to go there too much. They probably are just waiting in the wings. They're probably like boxers waiting to spring from the ropes and to give a couple of knockout blows to some of these other guys in the top 10.
Mick, any notable mentions for yourself?
Well, 17th place there is Better Idea 22-23. They finished 10th place last season. They were known as They Ain't Got a Clue then. 20th place is Maximum Effort. They finished 11th last season. They won't be very happy there. And in 21st place, Blossom Squad, who finished 9th last season. I think they'll be very disappointed. What do you think, that?
I think Blyton will be fuming with this. They will not be pleased. They started really good last season. They put up a brave battle. They just tired towards the end of the season there. This is not the start that they want. You need to get off to a good start. If you're getting on dodgy ground when you commence here, it makes your job tougher, so it does. You need to be getting the average points.
Hector, any notable mention for yourself?
For me, 16th place, the Batman and Robin. They got 56 points, and unfortunately, they decided to captain the Keane up front. He only brought them in the 4 points. Thing is that they had Salah, who had 12 points, and they had the Haaland with 13. Now, they're going to have to make a decision who they want their captain to be in game week 2. Very important here. They had gone for Salah or for Haaland, they would have been at 66 or 67 points. They'd have been much higher. It's all about who you're selecting as your captain.
Thank you for that then, lads. That's it. That's the whole lot for our show. We'll be back next week to take a look and see how game week 2 treated our managers. Hector, I believe you've been looking at a telescope. You have an interest in space, have you?
Yeah, I have a little interest in space. I like looking at the moon.
Okay. And a telescope. What have you seen here? You've been looking at the moon.
Yeah, well, I was looking to try and do this, and then I was looking in the daylight, and they adjusted down, and I could see grass and cows, but they were all upside down.
Sorry. Were they on the moon?
No, I mean they were in a field.
They were in the field, upside down.
You're not supposed to be looking for stars and planets and comets with this. Why are you looking for cows?
I was just looking and testing this. I tweaked it, and it went down from sky and went looking at cows who were upside down.
Okay, right. Before you go any further with this, Hector, I think we'll pay a visit to this topic next week. And I'm looking forward to hearing about this. There's something else, of course, I'm looking forward to hearing is that perhaps Hector might come back to us about his theology, his psychology of the football transfer.
Don't worry, Eamon. I will be back on that.
Well, I'd like to hear about it. I'm sure listeners would like to hear about it. What about you guys? Would you like to hear it?
Well, look, I listen to anything as long as Hector is talking sense.
Yeah, well, look, whatever Actus has to say, we'll listen to it.
I will be talking about it next week, yes.
All right, okay. Well, listen, lads, thank you very much, as always, for joining us and for your comments and your thoughts, views, analysis, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the week and enjoy the football next weekend, and you'll all be back next week. Sadly, I shall be back.
I will be back also, yes.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere.
Very good. Okay, and that's it. Hector, you have a piece of paper. Is it shout out time?
Yes, it is shout out time.
Go ahead.
I want to say that we have requesting to give shout out to listeners in Ireland. There's one listeners in Cork, Offaly, Monaghan. I think they're listening up in Scott's house to us. We have listeners who are in Longford and Ballyhonus as well over in County Mayo. Not sure if that's Michael Cummins from the Midwest Radio, but we give a big shout out to Michael. Our listeners in the United States, in Texas and California, Germany, we have Berlin, Frankfurt on Main, France, so there, the UK, Canada, Iceland, Brazil, and we have listeners from other places as well. So thank you for all joining us and listening. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And yes, all our listeners are very welcome. Okay,
well, we'll wrap up the show. Listeners, I hope that you've enjoyed our episode this week, that you found some of it interesting, some of it maybe makes you think about things. And all that remains for me to say is that we hope that you have a good morning, a good afternoon, good evening, a good night, and take care of yourselves, and wherever you are in the world, stay safe, and we will be back next week, and please do join us. Don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends about us, and until then, take care. Slán.